Hello and welcome to what will be my 5th outdoor shave. Today I'm on the banks of the Willamette River. This is a raging river, but I am at a part of the river known as the Leaburg Dam. It is another hydroelectric. In the Pacific Northwest, we get a bunch of our power from hydroelectric dams. I believe it's about 2/3. Here's my setup. My new mirrors came. I got a 2-pack for like $9 off of Amazon. That's one of them there. I've got it set. My tripod is set on my stool. Actually, this mirror is really cool, guys. It's made for like outdoors. It's not actual glass. It's some type of plexi plastic polymer thing. My setup, my tools of choice, hot water in my Oregon Duck thermos. I'll stop the video, get set up. During the beginning of the video, I'll stop and start a couple of times. I brought with me one of my favorite Scuttles. It actually comes in this little burgundy bag. It's from Artisan Accoutrements, and it is the travel Scuttle. It's not the prettiest Scuttle I have, although I do like this blue, but it is the one Scuttle that I'll take outdoors. All the rest are ceramic. Should have looked at some type of plastic. I don't know if it's ABS or what it is, but it does hold heat for a while, not as long as some of my ceramics that are thicker, but it does do the job. Got my hot water. I'm going to fill up the travel Scuttle. I'm going to have me my first ever warm lather shave. Here at Leaburg Dam is what we actually call this place. That's the McKenzie River there that you see. The only downside to this vista is the highway is right there. That's Highway 126. Runs from the Pacific Ocean to Central Oregon, basically. Not far from a town called Bend. It's a state highway. It's a beautiful highway. You ever get a chance to drive it? Brought 2 brushes with me just for comparison. In my last video I used my Omega Evo, so that's what I'll be using today is another Omega, but it's the Roma, and the Roma I believe is Omega's attempt at going after Simpson. This Simpson T1, T2, T3 has been extremely popular and the sales have been really good. I think Omega wanted to get in on a piece of that pie, and I believe this Roma is an exact clone of the Simpson T2. There's the other one. Was it No. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it now. I'll get it, and I'll get it attached to, and a link also where I bought this one from. This is how I store all my brushes, is either in these 60 Dram. They're known as Drams. It's a measurement, I guess. DRAM, 60 Dram pill containers, and I only have a couple of brushes that won't fit in them, and that's just because they're too big around, but literally all the others do. All the others do. Today I'll be using my 1951. I might have to just go off a picture of this. This one's really beautiful. My 1951, made in England, Gillette Tech. The top cap is brass with nickel plate. The rest of it is aluminum. It weighs 30 grams. The only difference between the 1950 and the 1951 is the 1951 has the arrowhead on it and the 1950 does not. No date code, just going off of the weight, what the razor's made out of, and the top of that cap there. And it's 30 grams. And I have loaded in it a Lord Extra. Today I'm using one of my favorite barber shops from one of my favorite soap companies, and that's Seville. And this is the Excelsior base. I grabbed the wrong thing over here, pardon me, and the matching splash. Today I brought with me my go-to pre-shave, and that's the scentless from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Wetted the face. Just going to apply a little bit here. I like the cube, but I like the scentless better. Just because it's scentless, I find it works as well as the cube. I love the cube, don't get me wrong. I just picked up the tube this morning. I have the set of Twee from previous years, but what I wanted to get this year was the EDP and the cube, which is called Tube, TWOOB. Today I brought with me another one of my scoops from Smiles for Miles. I have a matching brush for this one. I did not bring the brush. That brush has the motorboat knot on it, and the handle's identical. Virtually identical. It's not identical. This water is so nice and warm out of my thermos. I've never done it, but it's advertised that you can put the travel scuttle in the microwave, and I'm sure it works exactly as advertised. I generally just boil some water and put it in there, because that's what I've always done. Is just I bring the scuttle with me to go. I have scuttles for the house that I use home, and then I just fill those with the tap water. My wife has a hot water tank jacked way up, so we always have plenty of hot water. Notes on Seville is lavender, rosemary, lemon. Move over to the side so you guys can see more of that lake. Lemon, bergamot, oak moss, and patchouli. I have to admit, I put off buying this soap for a couple of years. And did I show off my shirt? Let me stand on the stool here. Damn it. Squirrel. There we go. It's Italian. It's an old Gillette advertisement. And it says, loosely translated, it says, "Give Gillette a magnificent razor." You know you got a good woman when she gives you a Gillette. Hi guys, I can pause it. I was beginning to say, I'm here today with our youngest children. We have Luna, the 1-year-old shepherd puppy, and our daughter Emily, who has a birthday on Monday. Happy birthday, Emily. She liked that, I'm sure. They're both sitting here to my right now. They just came back from a little walk, and Luna sometimes doesn't know her own strength. And she almost pulled Emily down into the reservoir. Get this soap wetted back up. It smells so good. I think I was saying too about the soap. I think I got this soap set in like 2018, something like that. I've since picked up the EDT. That's how much I love this. But one of my first Barrister and Mann soaps was Oceana, but that was in the lather line that they had out. And when I bought it, I finally decided to give it a go, and I had been putting it off because of the notes for probably 2 years. I had looked at it. I love barbershops. I love all the different styles of barbershops. That's one of the things I like about it, is checking out all the different interpretations of what a barbershop smells like, or could smell like. One of the fun things about the way Douglas does them at Phoenix. But I put it off and put it off, and then when I bought the lather, I picked up a sample, a barbershop like bundle sample. It had a bunch of different barbershops in it, and one of them was Seville, and that was the biggest thing, one of the big pulls. There's actually a couple of barbershops that are now gone that were in with it, but the biggest reason why I got it is like, well, man, they'll give me a chance to try these other barbershops, but more importantly, I can try Barrister and Mann's barbershop. And I knew it was, popular, but there's a lot of things that are popular that I don't like. I got that sample home, or it arrived in the mail. That's what I mean by that. And took a little sniff out of the little container that came in. So yeah, it's all right. See what this smells like after I get it lathered up. And add some more water here to my rinse bowl. So that's all right. Get it lathered up. A couple days later, I fell in love. My first experience with Oceana was that lather. Since getting it, I've gone through that tub, another tub, and then last summer I picked up a tub of Oceana. If you've seen my Instagram shots, you probably picked up that I really like it, because I really do. You trying to get my attention?
There's a
A bug?
bug. There's a mosquito.
Oh, get out of here. Mosquitoes are trying to eat me. It's the only thing about lakes. That's why I like rivers. So, I love Oceana. And that shipment, I fell in love with both Oceana and Seville. A couple of days later, I got it lathered up and I shaved with it. And about halfway through the shave, right about where I am right now, I was hooked. There's no other barbershop like it. If you look at the sales page, it says something about God's Barbershop or something like that. I don't know that it's my favorite barbershop, but I can tell you that it's a barbershop that I will always have in my den, because I love it. I'm wearing the EDT now. I put that on before we left the house. You okay, sweetheart? Good. Even though we have a 10-year-old dog at home, it's been with us since she was a puppy. Emily was 3 when we got Sakari. That's our Siberian Husky American Timberwolf mix. And so she doesn't really remember the puppy stage. And Luna is our first pup. Keep forgetting about this mirror down here. I really like it. Luna's our first pup since Sakari. Her name is Luna. My wife really likes celestial stuff, and so the name Luna there was a perfect fit. But it's also short for lunatic. And my daughter's over here shaking her head up and down in agreement to the lunatic. She is a fireball, all puppy. She doesn't know her strength, of course. She thinks she's a lap dog. She's been an absolute blessing. We got her a year ago when she was about 9 weeks old. And so then as our kids were doing the whole remote learning, homeschool, you know, because the schools were closed down and they were having to do learning from home. And so the dog was a Christmas gift to the family, but mostly for Emily. She'd wanted a puppy for years, and I'd always wanted a German Shepherd, and so some friends of ours actually raised them, so we got a great deal. And Luna really made those last. Did you end up going back to school in March? April. And so come next month she'll be back in school in April, so we got her a couple of days after Thanksgiving, but she really made that remote learning a whole lot easier, and brought some added joy into the house ever since. But she is a tyrant. Hi, pretty girl. Let's see if I can pan down real quick. My world right there. And that's Emily and Luna, or the backs of them. Emily has always been a woman after her dad's heart. A huge Star Wars fan. I think some of you picked up on that. So is she. She's my Star Wars buddy. Her mom likes Star Wars too, and her mom watches all the Star Wars with us, but Emily and I, we take Star Wars to the fanatic level where my wife really, really enjoys it, but not to the same point. So there's a love affair there. She's fallen in love with my Oregon Ducks. It's a small child, of course, she wasn't into it. She now wears a Hotel Cecil hoodie from Phoenix Artisan. I had Phoenix since it came out. In this last year, Netflix came out with that documentary, and we watched it together as a family. All the episodes, family time, good family time, right? We enjoyed it. We were into horror movies and stuff like that, and our kids have never really been sheltered from that kind of stuff. My soap's a little dry, but I think it's good enough to keep rolling with. And getting buzzed by mosquitoes. Can't believe it's almost spring. So we got to watching that show, and somewhere in between one of the episodes, I talked about the Hotel Cecil and reminded her that I had the key. You know, I bought the book and all the other stuff that came out with it when it released, and I showed her the key. Of course, she wanted my key, so I gave her the key and ordered another one. And she saw the hoodie and wanted to have it. So how could I tell her no, right? The kid wants to wear something from Phoenix. I can't tell her no. She rocks it. Keep forgetting about my mirror down here. Let's set Chief Wahoo down. This razor has a .025 blade gap, so it's slightly more aggressive than the 1954 ball end tech that I used the other day. Same blade gap that's found on the fat handle that I used in my last shave, the 1938 to 1945. And same that's on the contract tech. I think, and I might be wrong, but virtually, I know all of mine anyways. I have 14 or 16 techs that I shave with, and then I have a handful more that are like in really nice pristine cases, because I have what I call my everyday drivers, my Sunday or some day drivers, and then I have razors that I intend to sell or give away or do other things with. So I have kind of like three collections. But when it comes to daily drivers, it's either 14 or 16, and I know with the 4 or 5 aluminums that I have there that all of them have the same blade gap, the 0.25. Then there might be some, you know, that have the 2.0, 1932 tech from Canada. It's not made in 1932, that's the model number. I'm gonna use that one in my next outdoor shave, kind of going through and showcasing my techs, if you will. Let me get a little bit more water for my cleanup. My lather's still nice and warm. Love the Scuttle. Cool. Oh, I don't know if she's gonna let you leave without her. Just take it out of my bottle, babe. Squirrel. What was I talking about? I was talking about my lather. I was keeping it warm, yeah. My techs. I was talking about my techs. And so I've been going through and I wanted to go through first and showcase a handful of my techs that I have that I love. So I'm using this made in England, 1951, aluminum handle, aluminum bottom cap, nickel plated brass head, or top cap rather. Today, my last shave, I used my 1938 45 Perry War tech. Shave before that was my 54 ball end with the 2.0 blade gap. I believe the angle and the exposure is all the same. I'll be sure to make sure that I come with the exact information. Problem is with a lot of these old razors and stuff, and even the blades, that a lot of the history has been lost. Sometimes that history is lost forever, and other times, I think places like Gillette might have that info, but it's not something that they've ever made public. Not that I'm aware of. Oh, there's some ducks coming up behind us. Can the camera see them? There they are. Right out there. My daughter's whispering to me that ducks are coming up behind me. Hey, no. They're not even leaving because of her. They know we're landlocked. Hi, duck. Be nice, Luna. Pause the video real quick. Maybe I'll leave it running, and then I'll just clip out anything. I'm gonna grab my towel. While I wipe off, I'll let you guys check out the duck there. Looks like a female from here. Mallard ducks. The male has a green head. The females are all brown with some black, some light browns, and mostly dark browns. That looks like a female there, and wherever there's a female, there's usually a male, and actually I can see the male. He's a little further out. Only thing I have to feed them is a French fry, and I'm not going to do that. I think that's what they're expecting, though. They're probably used to being fed bread. I try not to feed them bread. It's actually not good for them. There's actually some feed that you can buy at local stores to give to the ducks, and that's what I recommend and what we try to do. Oh, I can't zoom in around on this, I always forget. For my post, using the matching Seville splash. Today is Friday. March 10th or 11th now?
11.
11th. Emily's birthday is Monday. Can't believe it. She's the baby. She has older brothers. She's our only daughter. Oh, I include you, Luna. She's not my only daughter. I have 4 daughters. I have a Sakari daughter, a Luna daughter, and a Juliet daughter. Juliet is a beautiful black panther. She's not a panther. She's just a black house cat. I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll have this uploaded tonight after we get back home. We're probably about 20 miles from home, here where we are today. I've been coming here my whole life. I'll be attaching some photos of the other places that I'm about to mention, but softball, volleyball across the way. There's a huge green space that's just green grass where you can do all kinds of stuff. Swings for the little kids. And the fishing here is great. They stock it every year with more trout than I could ever count. And they stock it a few times a year. The ducks are definitely waiting to be fed. It's beautiful. Are you a fraidy duck way out there? See the male out there? The male is in the distance. The camera picking him up. Yeah, he's at the top of the screen. So once again, I used Seville Excelsior base and aftershave splash in my travel scuttle from Phoenix Artisan. My shirt is also from Phoenix. The Roma from Omega synthetic. My Preshave is my go-to from Phoenix, the scentless. And yeah, my Derby Extra. And the extra is just, I believe it just means extra PTFE because it's Teflon coated. I think it's supposed to have like an extra Teflon coating compared to a couple of their other blades that have Teflon coatings. And then, of course, my 1951 30 gram tech that I love. I love techs, as you might be able to pick up on. But if you've watched this far, thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend. And you got anything to say, Emily? Anything to add?
No.
Go Ducks.